Hello everyone, welcome to the fifth episode in the series, and we're gonna get started with graphics. That's what everyone's excited about, and yay, we gotta draw stuff. And yeah, let's get going. So this is actually, as you can see, the series is following chronological order, and yeah, so you cannot progress without watching the previous video, and the next video is the following video and follow-ups and all that stuff. So now we're done with the display class. We're just gonna enter the game manager class, and I think I said all the stuff I needed to say. So let's get started with today. So now we're just gonna be writing code inside the render method. Now the first thing we're gonna need is need a reference to the what's it called? The canvas object. So which we can refer to it using the display class. So I would want to locally store the canvas. In fact, let me just not locally store it, and so let's just leave it like that. So I would like to have a method to initialize graphics. So you don't have to do this, I just prefer doing it this way. So public void initialize and then graphics. So what this function is basically going to do is basically just initialize graphics. So, and now I'm just going to use private values because I actually don't need these values outside of this class. And so the first thing we're gonna need is a buffer strategy. And well, I think this is about it. Buffer strategy BS. It doesn't stand for bullshit. It stands for buffer strategy. Let me just go with buffer strategy. Anyway, so there we go. Inside init graphics, we're gonna say if. So we're gonna create we're gonna need a canvas object. Canvas is to display get canvas. Yes, and we need to import canvas from java.awt. So also, I forgot to mention this, buffer strategy also you have to import from java.awt.image.bufferstrategy. And so we're gonna go here and we're gonna say if, we're gonna create an if statement. If canvas dot buffer strategy, is it something like this? Dot get buffer strategy. The get buffer strategy equals to null. Basically what this means is that if the buffer strategy object is not instantiated, we just return, we just end this, we don't need to, does not equal to null. Yes, it does not equal to null. So it means if the canvas has a buffer strategy already, we don't need to do anything else. We just exit it. In fact, let me just store this inside here. Strategy equals to canvas get buffer strategy. So we're just going to say if buffer strategy equals to null, if this object we're referring to is empty, isn't created, we just end the method. And so if it is not empty, we continue. So how do we continue? Then we can, if it is empty, if it is not empty, we end the function. As you can see, the return thingy, necessary to return statement basically ends this method over here. And then it's just gonna end the method here. After this return statement, it's just gonna end this method. Now what we are going to do is create a buffer strategy. So we're gonna say canvas create buffer strategy. I don't know why it's just 3. Don't ask me why it's 3, not 1, 2, or not 4. I don't know. I usually do it with 3 and it works out perfect. So so there we go. Just gonna say canvas.create buffer strategy, and now let's get to the render method. So the first thing we're gonna do is call init graphics. We want to initialize graphics first. So this function is done. and we're done. Now we need to create a new class and call it graphics class. Graphics I'm just gonna call it graphics equals to bufferstrategy.get draw graphics, and we just need to import java.awt.graphics. Sorry, I was just interrupted. So I was minor interruption. So I fixed that. I managed that. So now we have graphics. For some reason I wrote graphics. I'm gonna fix that. So graphics, and and then after this, so now we already created our graphics. Now here we just need to create a comment and say all draw code goes inside here. All the drawing code goes here. End of drawing code. End of drawing code. Now after creating the graphics, we're going to use this graphics object to do all the drawing we need to. But before we can do any drawing, we need to first of all, after we do all the drawing we can do, we need to show the buffer strategy, because we're getting the graphics from the buffer strategy and the buffer strategy needs to be displayed. So we're just going to say buffer strategy.show, and right after that we're going to dispose the graphics so that it doesn't waste lots of CPU or graphics, lots of computer CPU while we're doing this. So we can say graphics.dispose, and we're done. This is it. Now let's get to actually drawing. So there's a few things that we need to consider while doing this. Now first thing is that when we're drawing, we'll look at our game width. Let's run this. Number one seems to have an error. Game manager line 37. Oh, I think I made a mistake somewhere, and I think it's inside in the graphics. And then we should say buffer strategy equals to canvas get strategy. Now pointer error. And we say it's fixed now. Now what I was talking about is when we start drawing, the important things we need to know is in the beginning we set a width and a height value. The width being this over here, spanning from this point to this point, and the height is spanning from this point to this point. And the other thing we need to know is that on computers, for some reason, position 0, 0 starts on this corner. It doesn't start from the center. Position 0, 0 doesn't start from the center, neither does it start at the bottom left. It starts at the top left. This is position 0, this is position 640, this is position 480, and this will be halfway, but this is 0. Anyway, so when we draw anything and we want that thing to be seen, we want to draw it between 640, 0 and 640, and that's the x coordinate and the y coordinate of between 0 and 480. All I'm saying is going to be confusing, but it's going to make sense in a minute. And so let's get at it. So for now, I just want to draw a diagonal line. So we're going to set the color of the graphics.set color to, I don't know, we're using a black background, so I'm just going to set a color to white. and I'm just gonna say graphics.drawLine, draw a line, there we go, line, x1, y1, x2, and y2. This is basically the start and the ending position. So 0, we're gonna go with 0 and 0, and then this is the width and the height, so 640 and 480. I'm going to save this and run it, and there we go, our line has been drawn, and for some reason it's accurate. Okay, there we go, it has been drawn, and there we go. You're probably wondering why there was a delay with the drawing. The reason is because this is a very initializing graphics. This method over here consume lots of CPU time, and as you can see, the frame rate in the beginning is quite low. It's 54 frames per second, then 58, then it reaches 60. So this method kind of takes a lot of CPU time to actually do and accomplish. So yeah, so guys, this is it for today, and yeah, so guys, please like, subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned for the next video. The next video we're just gonna be looking at other shapes. We're gonna draw rectangles, circles, I think that's about it. Polygons, rectangles, circles, and polygons, and also no, not yet. So we're just gonna do that in the next video. So guys, yeah, peace and enjoy. I hope you like and enjoy. Please subscribe, and yeah, peace.